Oh, welcome on in, everyone, to the Dynasty Deal Show. I'm Ty at Ty Declare 44, and I'm joined today by Scott at Charles Chill FFB, and that is GQ Honcho over there at Ray GQ. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a great week. Happy Friday night, leading into the weekend. If you're not subscribed, I guess you're watching this midweek on Tuesday, something like that. Hope you're doing well as well. So, guys, we got a lot of trades to get to. We ain't going to spend a whole lot of time doing this, so no intros, nothing like that. But Ray, I got one rule on this show. All right. And that is, if you hear this sounder, let's wrap it up. We're moving on to the next one. All right. You good?
I'm good, Ty. I love it, man. Let's get it.
Sweet. So we're going to start with Dynasty Mark here. We got a 10-team start 10, 2 quarterback, 1.5 tight end premium. We got Hurts, Herbert, Murray, Tua, Saquon, Monty, Pollard, Sharps. We got Chase, JJ, AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Odunze, Jaden Higgins, Burden, Kittle, Andrews, Goddard, hammers everywhere. No first till 28. We've burnt all them things. Are you giving your Saquon, Barkley, and DJ Moore to get CD Lamb? And Ray, I want to start with you as the resident Cowboys fan in the room here. Saquon and DJM for CD in a 10 by 10.
In a 10 by 10, Saquon, Monty, Pollard, Sharps, 2 QB, Saquon and DJ Moore to get CD for what? Well, he's got Chase, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. Probably not. I don't give a damn about RB. He doesn't have first until 2028. I'm riding Saquon. I'm not making this. I'm not doing it.
It's a little overkill to add CD to this wide receiver room.
You're starting 10, man. I would rather have Saquon Barkley personally. I'm keeping Saquon.
Yeah, Scott, Chase, JJ, AJ Brown. Let's call it Saquon, Monty, Pollard, Shar. Like, we already got way more than 10 here. How do you feel there? DJ Moore and Saquon or CD Lamb?
Well, Ray already said it's 10 by 10. I mean, I'm immediately thinking, okay, getting Saquon out for a receiver that is probably going to outscore him or very close to it, and you buy a lot more ADV with the receiver. But then you look at his receiver room, it's like we're sitting one of Odunze, DJ Moore, or T. Higgins every week. So yes, we can put this roster out there and go, dude, we have Chase, JJ, and CD Lamb. Like, oh my God, I have the best receiver room. But put up the next comment that Mark leaves in there, Ty.
It leaves this running back room in shambles.
Leave their running back room in shambles. It's like he already knows that it would put him in a tough spot at running back, right? So unless you're going to turn around and then trade Chase, Jefferson, or CD Lamb.
Give the thought logic, Scott. Like, why? What do you think? He put this trade in here. Why do you think he's considering this deal? Because he's considering it. He's absolutely considering it.
Because it is an up tier in a shallower league at 10 by 10. It's 2 QB, so you're only starting 8 non-quarterbacks, right? So he's getting a top 8 skill player. So he is up tiering, and he is using a running back that probably has much more value on his roster than the trade market says, right? Even though it's Saquon.
Which I'm fine with that. With this team with no first till 28, I'm okay with that.
My alternative, if you want to take this deal, can you then turn around and trade CD Lamb for the dynasty equivalent of CD Lamb? Can you go get Ashton Genty? Can you go get Jameer Gibbs? That's the only way I'm doing it, because otherwise you have a monster squad, roster constructed perfectly, where you have literally a hammer at every position, if not multiples, and you are creating a hole 2.5 months before the season, and you know you're doing it for the sake of dynasty value. Now, I don't know. If there's another deal, I don't mind doing it, because I bet you CD, Chase, or Jefferson can get you more than what you're trading away here. But I'm fine not doing it just for the sake. You have a great roster. There's no need.
I think one of the interesting parts there, Ray, you're muted there, big dog, but he said it can't get past the other super teams. That tells me that league market, it might be a little messed up. Like, it might not be your typical thing where all these other hammers he's trying to get are on other teams, and CD may be the only one he can actually.
Well, what's on the super team? Look at his roster. You're telling me there's a better roster than this?
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. 10 by 10, man. Ray, like anything else on this one?
I was just going to say, do you guys like to have those subsequent deals already set up? Like, I don't want to make that deal and like, maybe I can flip CD Lamb for the equivalent. Like, do you need to have that thing lined up before you make that deal? Like, I know I'm going to move CD Lamb for Jameer Gibbs and this. I don't know. I'm
That's
just not in.
that's more of an in-season thing for me, Ray. You know, like a week when I have a specific thing I'm trying to do in a week, and I can maybe make 2 moves. That maybe there, not in June, but I also don't mind getting to the asset that I think has more ADV, has more runway in June if I am worried on that. But I mean, again, Saquon on this team, I think that's what you would eventually want to get out of your CeeDee Lamb. So,
and what if the super team has all of those guys you would trade for, and they say I'm basically not going to trade with you because I'm the super team? You know what I mean? So we're assuming that he can just go make this other deal, but we don't see the league. All those guys he may go Gibbs, Bijan, Genti, I would consider trading CeeDee Lamb for. They might all be on the super team already. So this feels like you are going backwards for the sake of making another move, but you're trying to beat a super team and there may not be anybody else to trade with. I think I'm holding, knowing that context.
Yeah, no, I agree there. So it's a tough one, right? And maybe we'll go through the whole league another time there, Dynasty Mark. But that's a good one to get us started, and a little something to get us thinking there. Mark, you have another question. I know I'm going to probably hit that one on the All Gas Trade Show tomorrow, so I'm going to put a pin in that one. We might come back to that. Let's go over to Automatic 24. It's a 12-team start 8, shallow, one quarterback, 0.5 point per reception. It's a lineup league. We got Herbert, we got Love, Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco, Jalen Warren, and Cans. We got CeeDee Lamb, Nico, AJ Brown, Hunter, Rice, Devontae Adams, Engram, Pitts, Jonnu. Trade Rice for Downs and a 26th first of a borderline contender. Scott, I'm so excited for this War Tool upgrade when it does come through and just like be able to play around in that thing. But 12x8, one quarterback. I'm like, we're thinking like difference makers in this format. Is Rice enough of that with Downs and a first, or on this particular team, are you kind of leaning more the liquidity side of it?
Well, start 8, when I see you're giving up 1 and you're getting back 2, I'm immediately hesitant because it's so shallow. But, we have a great tool, Trinity tool. You can compare Rashee Rice to Josh Downs. It is a half PPR, so it probably devalues receivers that are not elite a little bit. And it is shallow. So if you think both of these receivers, and if you don't already have the Trinity tool, ddfantasyfootball.com, if you think, okay, Downs and Rashee Rice have a similar range of outcomes if things go one way or the other, I'm okay doing the deal because I think they could occupy a similar spot. Now, if you say, Rashee Rice, I think can still be, a top 10, top 12 receiver, then you're giving that away in a format that probably favors that. Mm-hmm. But I don't hate it. I mean, you're getting a free first. It depends on what you can do with the first. But when you're trading receiver for receiver, like I think it comes down to how far apart are the receivers and what's the analysis of what that first can buy me.
Yeah. Ray, you've been talking a lot about Rashee Rice, Xavier, where that Kansas City Chiefs offense in general. We can also talk about Anthony Richardson, I guess. But, how do you feel in a league like this and this trade in this context?
When I initially saw it, I was like, I'm getting a first and Downs. Like my initial thought was, I'm fine with that. I do think Rashee Rice has a much higher range of outcome than Josh Downs. I would just say know your league. And if that 26 first can be used, manipulated, or structured to buy you more down the line, like, we don't know how active your league is, know your league. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. You still have CD, Nico, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams. Like you're so good there. This is one where at the end of the season, you might feel like, damn, I'd rather have Rashee Rice over Josh Downs. But what you could potentially do with that first right now, I don't mind it. So this one, I'll let Ty be the tiebreaker. Literally, I'm fine with it. I
mean, I'll let Otto be the tiebreaker because he's kind of going down your same mind path here, right? He thinks it makes sense to capitalize on the Rashee hype that we have for a similar archetype wide receiver. Maybe you don't have the same upside, but same spot on his roster, plus a first to use in season to plug holes or go after an elite quarterback or running back in this format. And that's so if I'm talking about subsequent deals that I'm trying to do in the offseason, that would be kind of what I'm trying to do. Can I pivot off that wide receiver and then use that first either in season or just have a plan with it,
Well, and look at his quarterback room. Pull his roster up real quick. In a start 8, 1 QB, I mean, Ray, what's the bugaboo on this team if he ends up with a non-elite productive spot? It's either going to be probably tight end or quarterback, right?
QB.
And tight end, there's 2 guys you can go probably get that are a clear upgrade over a trio of Engram, Pitts, and Jonnu.
Yeah.
But in a 1 QB, you're probably facing off against the 2 or 3 teams that have Lamar, Daniels, Allen, and it's a start 8. If this was a start 10, start 11, where there's more points scored, the denominator is higher. But here, if you're taking a 8-point bath at quarterback, that's a big deal, even in a 1 QB. So maybe that first is something you could tack on to,
that's what I mean,
a Love or Herbert, and you're going
Herbert.
and getting Lamar. And I would rather do that just because it's a start 8, and that one position being upgraded that much matters a lot more than the Downs Rashee Rice difference.
It's about a 3 last year on Rice. It's about 4 points per game difference, 3.5 to 4 point difference.
Yeah. So deal with a plan. You have a plan, Otto. Keep that going. You have another trade in here. We'll circle back to that one after we hit some more in here. We got Joshua Quinn. He gives us a 12/10 Superflex PPR. It's a 0.5 tight end premium. We got Lamar, Purdy, May, Flacco, Christian McCaffrey, Hampton, Judkins, Mason, Warren, Stevenson, Sampson, Eckler, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nabers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Scary Terry, Mike Evans, Godwin, Abuka, Travis Hunter, Debo. Good God. Tight ends only have Laporta. Higbee and Mayer still own all of his firsts and an extra 2027 first. Wonder if he has too much depth and should focus on a tier up somewhere else, or sell an aging wide receiver for another vet like a Cook or a Kyron type, or a backup tight end. Ray, I'm going to start with you. I mean, backup tight end, really, like if I have Laporta, I'm not worried about a backup tight end in a 12/10.5 tight end premium.
I think he's good. Yeah.
I think he'll be all right. And we look at the quarterback room, man. Lamar, Purdy, May. Dude, people love them some May. I love me some Purdy. I know you love you some Purdy. I mean, what are you doing on this team with this collection of assets?
Well, what was his question again? He said, wondering if I have too much depth and should I focus on tier up elsewhere? So let's focus on that. You've got incredible depth. I mean, I love the QB room. I think there's a lot. I think you could do some stuff at the quarterback position. You got a lot of hopium at running back, a lot of names, at least with Hampton and Judkins at the top, that people will like. I don't know how much other flexibility you really have in the RB room, but you definitely have some nice overage at the receiver spot with Amon-Ra, Nabers. If this is a lineup league, like I don't know when the hell you're going to start Debo, Travis Hunter, Emeka. I mean, you got Abuka and Godwin on the same team,
and Evans.
Yeah.
We should go to the Baker manager and say, which one do you want?
Yes. I'll just say this. You've got incredible depth, and I absolutely think that you can consolidate this wide receiver room. I mean, it is a 12/10, so not as shallow as what we were talking about. But, Scott, I think he can make, especially with these names at receiver, there's absolutely some spots where he can consolidate and upgrade. And I think you can start with Tampa Bay, with the one that probably has the most liquidity, Ibuka, and even held Travis Hunter to a degree. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that. I'd love to know where this league sits amongst the other teams in the league, but it seems like a good roster. I would consolidate.
Yeah, Joshua, I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach because I'm viewing this from, if I saw your team in a league with me, I'm looking at that team going like, man, this guy's got 16 starters plus 3 top 12 quarterbacks. And, oh, yeah, he has a top 5 tight end. Like, you don't mention anything other than you have, an extra 27 first.
An extra 27 first.
So it's like, if I'm looking at you, I get it. You do think you have too much depth because you do have too much depth. But I think you're also going to go, okay, what would most people do with this one, Ray? They'd look at all the players they don't want and go, how can I trade them, right? Like, how can I trade Ramondre Stevenson and Mike Evans and Debo Samuel, and people are going to go like, dude, why would I give this roster anything for those guys? So if I'm you, I'm actually going and shopping one of the guys you probably don't feel comfortable moving. What can I get for Marvin Harrison? Can I get 2 firsts for Marv? Maybe can I package Marv and something else and clean somebody else's next 2 years of first? Doesn't hurt my roster at all, right? I'm going to have multiple years of a couple of these guys, whether it's Terry or Evans or Godwin or Debo. And then, of course, I have Hunter and Ibuka just backfilling those guys. And neither are even my top 2 receivers on my roster.
That's who I'm trying to move. I mean, I think we're not taking different approaches. Like, I want to move one of the players
you can move
most ADV, one
yes.
that has the most ADV, and Man, you saying Marv, but it very well in this league could be a Travis Hunter. It could be a Mekhi Buka. You got three damn bucks. Like, yes, I would absolutely do that. I wouldn't even be opposed to moving Amon-Ra St. Brown. I wouldn't. I know you're saying a tier up, and I'm not
sure.
I'm not opposed to doing that with this type of like, what can I liquidate him for? Even if it's a slight step back, can I get something on top of, is it Garrett Wilson in the first? Can net me an Amon-Ra St. Brown? Like, what else can I do? Like, you got a lot of flexibility here, man. I wouldn't even, you're not moving Hunter. You're not going to move freaking Godwin. No one wants Mike Evans. Nobody wants your Jordan Mason. You're going to have to move one of your big dogs, and I think you can.
Yeah, I agree. And Ray, you've been talking the offseason and for a good while here about, I don't want to ISO sell some players, man. Like, like the Godwins, like even Scary Terry. Like, I'm not going to get what I want trying to ISO sell them. So if I'm going to try and sell one of those guys, I'm going to have to attach that to something that makes sense. So on this roster, man, like if I can mobilize my Drake May, attach one of those wide receivers that I do want to move on to that and try to get that upgrade at wide receiver that way, I'm interested. You have enough quarterback insulation on your roster already that you can pivot. You can figure out your quarterback 3 later. But I mean, man, if you could take Drake May and Emeka Egbuka and attach one of your other roster players, try to get up to like a JJ, a Chase, like aim high and see what you can do.
And could I would give you May, Egbuka, and Travis Hunter to get Jaden Daniels. Like, what can I do to upgrade my QB room too? Like, I'd give you want all that opium for JD5. This is flexibility gold mine right here. I like this, Josh.
Yeah, plenty of ways you can approach it for sure, Josh. So go have fun. And I'm going to stick with you here. Josh also asked, what do you do in your favorite rookie bus? You can't drop him. He has 5 shares of his boy Jahan Dotson clogging his rosters, preventing those waiver moves. He cannot let go of that Jahan Dotson, Ray. Can't do it.
What's the player? Jahan Dotson? This is for our members, right? It's our members is how you let him go. A 1.3 Trinity score last year, efficiency adjusted a 0.80 score, high-end outcome. Mohamed Sanu from 2021, Kendall Hilton from 2022, Desmond Patton from 2022, 3.2 points per game going into year 5. Cut him. What are you doing?
Got to get that Sanu season. Scott, I'm not going to get you started on roster cloggers, but I will get you started here on a 12-team start 10 Superflex. PPR, it's a 2 tight end league. Defending champ, Mahomes, Stroud, JJ McCarthy, Jonathan Taylor, Rico Dowdle, Cans, Nabers, London, T. Higgins, Evans, Addison, Hollywood. We got Bowers, we got Kelsey, we got Hunter Henry. Haven't drafted yet. We got the 101, 102, 103, all of his 26. Does he re-roll Jonathan Taylor and a 111 for a mid 26 2?
No, reroll JT for the 111 and a
mid 20. JT for 111 and a 12. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, Scott, on this one, I know we just talked in voice or in the morning drive this morning about these kind of tight end formats. So we're not really talking tight ends here, but JT for 111 and a mid 26 second on this squad. How do you feel?
I think it depends on who's there at the 111. Honestly, if you told me I'm getting Harvey or Caleb Johnson, I can live with it because it is position for position. I also think if you really wanted a specific running back and you wanted JT, like I'd have no problem paying this on the other side. All I got to do is tack 26 second onto my 111 and I get the guy that I want. Like it comes down to what else can you move? What else am I doing with the 26 second? Is this the type of league where I can easily package that with something else and do something better? I mean, it's always good to push assets to when you need them most, especially in an active league, but we don't know anything about that. So I think it's a neutral deal. I'd probably say keep Jonathan Taylor with where your roster is, but you could get creative. I mean, I'm in many leagues where running backs like a Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara are not that hard to get. You know what I mean? If I would tack a Hopium rookie in a second, I can get one of those off the right roster. So if you did that and you still kept the 111 to invest in something else, I'm fine with that. So it just comes down to your market, what else you can do, but I'm fine keeping JT if you don't know.
I'm actually good with this, man. When I look at this and I read defending champs and I'm looking at this roster and I'm like, to thread this thing with these players was probably a damn good job to get it through, because I don't look at this like some strong shout out to you for getting it done, Jake, but my thought process is, okay, we got it done, and I'm getting an out plus a second for Jonathan Taylor. He's got nothing at RB behind JT. It's Rico. Here's what I would do. If this offer came to you, that means the other side is interested in your player. What I would do is maybe see if you get JT the 111, move JT for the 111, a mid 26 second, and Ollie Gordon, or just some dart throw. Hopium, I really don't think he's any good. Just to get a body back at the running back spot. Jaleel McLaughlin, I don't care who it is, but I think I'm fine with this. I think I'm fine with having the 101, the 102, the 103, and now you add a 111. You've got even more flexibility, right? You've got even more flexibility to do some stuff. I'm fine with that deal either way, but I get the thought process for wanting to move off of JT.
I think I'm fine with this like in a vacuum, but I also think like that if I know I can turn that 111 into a future first, all right, well, yeah, we're cool. But also like I'm seeing on 101, 102, 103. I think like probably the easier plan of attack for me on this roster is let me keep JT, let me draft Genty, and let me see what I can do with that 102 and 103 to gain that flexibility, move back, try to figure out what to do with that 102, 103.
I can tell you right now, he doesn't want to do that. Just knowing he's got 1, 2, and 3, I guarantee he doesn't really want to do that.
He wants to sell JT because listen, you already named the roster, right? JT is why he won the championship. He solely carried him probably through the playoffs because of how good he was in the playoffs. So this is almost like you're paying the penance for getting that work from JT last year, and you are getting out before the shit goes sour. And I guarantee he's ripping Genty, Hampton, Travion Henderson with those first 3 picks.
Yep.
And in that context, this is exactly why you want running backs as like a hero RB. They do their job, and then you move on. He's replaceable. Like I'm not worried about Jonathan Taylor killing my team if I trade him.
That's why if I can get the 111 in a second and ask for some junk back, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move it forward, keep it rolling. Yeah, I love it. So good work there, Jake. Let's move on to Roy. Evening, guys. 12 teams, start 10, Superflex. The lineup league, it's a 2 PPR for tight end, vanilla PPR other than that. We got Jaden Daniels, Herbert, Cam. We got Hendo, Caleb. We got Tet, Ibuka, Addison, Warren Taylor, and Terrace Ferguson. This is the rookie squad of 2025 right here. We got 10 picks in 2026, including 3 first. You don't say. Trade away Taylor and Caleb for Odunze. Not close to contending, so would prefer to have the wide receiver and worry about running back later. So trading away Taylor and Caleb and Taylor. Was Taylor the tight end Mason Taylor?
Tight end Mason Taylor.
Yeah, Mason Taylor and Caleb Johnson for Rome Odunze. Not close to contending. Scott. Again, we just talked about tight ends a lot today. In this like two tight end format, 2 point per tight end for format. How are you valuing Mason Taylor in something like this? And in this deal, Caleb, Odunze, how does that all math out for you?
I mean, okay, so you're betting that Mason Taylor, if he is not just a complete flame out, right? Like it just is bad. If he's just an average tight end, like an average starter that gives you a couple top 12 years, that's probably the equivalent of like a wide receiver 2-3-ish in a 2 PPR. So he should have some value, right? Like this league should go, okay, he's crossed the threshold of not being a bust. So he should have some value. And then I'm trading a guy in Caleb who was drafted, a little lower than where Odunze was. But I think if you put Odunze in this rookie draft, he goes mid to late first. You know what I mean? Like 106, 105, 106. And Caleb was 109, 110. So, I mean, it's a 2 for 1. Like, I think he's fearful of Caleb. So he's trying to get out for the receiver. But I don't hate the deal the other side is getting here. They're getting 2 pieces in a format where, normally I'd say no way on Mason Taylor if it's not a 2 PPR, but it is. I kind of like the leverage side here, but I get it on Odunze and Ray's the Odunze guy. So I'm curious to what he says, but I don't hate the return. I think you're maybe overthinking it here, thinking you have to just pivot to a receiver because they are safer. But I don't think that's necessarily true here. Unless Odunze is, real good, then maybe you got yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the bet that you're making, right? If you make this trade, you're betting on all the hype and the enthusiasm that he actually materializes and becomes. And I'm just going to say this, Ben Johnson's Amon-Ra St. Brown. But I think I would just rock with Taylor and Caleb, honestly. This is just a trade that I'm not going to do now, because the only thing that's really going to happen for Mason Taylor and Caleb Johnson from now to September is drumbeat of positive momentum absent an injury. So I think I would just rock with Caleb and Mason Taylor right now. I can buy Odunze's usage at any time right now.
And Ray, doesn't it feel like a bit of a misnomer where that Caleb Johnson, like I'm not contending, so I shouldn't want a running back at all?
Yeah.
It feels like you're missing out on an opportunity to use that rise in value. You know?
Agreed, Ty. Agreed.
Absolutely. Scott, anything else on this one?
No, I mean, he's a rookie running back. He hasn't even played, and we're already fearful of him being expiring on my roster. You know what I mean? Like, it is a big bet on Odunze. Because I guarantee you, if Odunze is just wide receiver 32 this year, guess what's going to happen next year? How much demand is that Odunze going to have?
0.
He's just a guy. You know what I mean?
I knew he sucked.
And there's a world where Caleb comes out the first week, 2 tutties, and you're going, I traded him for Odunze straight up, or even plus. Like, that's how quick it could flip.
Well, here's the thing. He's the next Le'Veon Bell. And regardless if that's true or not, the enthusiasm for that Steelers running, I'm chilling. Roy, I'm chilling. Don't make that deal.
Yeah, we're good on that one, Roy. But hey, getting the 2-for-1 in the format, leaning to the strength of the format, I like that a lot. If you are able to get Taylor and Caleb for your Odunze in the reverse. Samuel Keelgreen's with a 12-team start 10 Superflex, a PPR, 0.5 tight end premium. Lamar, Daniels, love that. Hampton, Chuba, Pollard, Bodies, Nico, Marv, Terry, Mooney, Shaheed, Debo, Njoku, JT Sanders, all picks except his 26th second. Stuck in the middle, it's a low-end playoff team with a 40% chance to make the semifinals. Feels pretty limited. No sweetheart deals for one of his quarterbacks are available. Probably just rolling with it, but need some fresh eyes. This is a very well-constructed team, Ray. Like it's very well-constructed. They're not overweight at tight end. They have hammers at quarterback. At least those sweetheart deals aren't coming his way. When you look at this team, do you see any opportunities or what stands out to you?
You know, I think I love this comment, man. Shout out to Sam, man. Appreciate you being a member over here. I love this comment because it highlights something that I think a lot of dynasty managers are. They're kind of in the middle, and you've got good assets, not great. You know, they might make the playoffs, but probably not one of the strongest teams. You gotta make a move, right? What you can't do is be paralyzed and I'm gonna just roll with it and see. When I look at this, my eyes immediately go to, okay, who are some assets that I can move off of if things start going well? And probably not going to happen now, but in season, like Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard, they can go, right? Like you're going to have to pivot and make a move. Chuba and Tony Pollard, they start cooking in season. I'm trying to figure out how to liquidate them. You're strong at the quarterback position. You've got Nico, you've got Marv, you've got Terry. I like your wide receiver room. You definitely can upgrade. This is the team that you need flexibility. You need to get off of some of these assets to where if you don't move them this season or now, like the value is only going to decrease. This is one where I would just like to, I'm not thinking about winning the league right now. I'm not thinking about the dynasty. The only thing that's on my mind is asset acquisition. How do I get flexibility on this roster? I'm good at quarterback. I got some nice young pieces. I need more flexibility to figure out a plan. So that's how I analyze this right off the rip. I don't think there's a lot that you can do immediately to just, I'm a contender now or not. I just want to get ready for something, and you need some more flexibility.
Yeah, and Scott, a lot of these guys feel like people that you can sell better in season or easier in season versus right now. How would you approach this team in June?
Well, I appreciate Samuel sharing the 40% chance at semifinals. I mean, he went through and did that exercise we did on Mannequin Show where we ran through the simulator. Like, there's probably 2 or 3 other teams in his league that are just as good or better than him at multiple spots. So he's feeling, man, I don't know if I can get to the top.
Yep.
At the same time, like, you can't get anywhere close to the bottom with freaking Lamar and Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
So you are truly 4th through 7th place on this roster. And so I'm looking for very small edges where here's how I make up that bit of a gap that I think there is between me and the other 2 or 3 teams above me. I probably have to take a couple chances. I probably do have to capitalize on something when I don't feel comfortable moving it. Maybe that is selling to Chuba if he goes for 20 plus points in week 1. Maybe I can get a future second and another running back. And I don't feel great because I don't have a great running back room. But that's the kind of gamble I have to take. Maybe I also gamble on, can I go to the Isaiah Likely manager and get Likely in a second for David Njoku? Something like that. I'm already stacking Lamar with one of his tight ends. That gives me a little more upside in a given week. Because here's the other thing. If I make the playoffs, dude, the number 1 seed don't want to see this team in the quarterfinals either, or the semifinals, because you got Lamar and Jaden. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the kind of team that I want to see getting hot down the stretch, because they do have 2 or 3 players. Nico, the quarterbacks, like those 3 guys can win a week. So what other edges can I get thinking down the road, knowing I probably have to take some risk? I can't just go, hey, let me sell what I want to sell. Who wants to give me something for Terry, Chuba, Debo? Like, you can do that, but you're going to get offers where you immediately say, well, all that does is push my roster closer to the bottom, but not far enough to the bottom where it benefits my team. So you got to gamble. You got to make a big bet to try to get above the teams above you, because there's not really a path to go any lower than where you are.
Yeah, agreed.
Can I just say this? I think it's okay realizing that I'm probably not going to, like, it's the outlook is not optimistic that I'm dominating this league. Like, so while everyone is chasing that, just figure out ways to just improve your roster. And improving your roster doesn't mean doing everything you can to win. You're trying to set yourself up to capitalize on those moments where teams that are trying to win and they're desperate, like, you're in a good position to add to your team. And it's not just about winning this year. It might be a year from now, but I think you can make some moves, and you're going to have to make some moves. You're going to have to liquidate some of those cats. And Chuba Hubbard is 1 3-week stretch from being just a bum again, So just keep that in mind.
Might not be the top seed, definitely not a bottom feeder with this construction. So be smart, find those smart pivot moves, and move that thing forward. Thank you so much. All right, we're about 30 minutes into the show here. Let's say hi to some of the people live here. We got Josh McAtee dropping them beans. We got Jag. We got Ray here. Say at the top night. I mean, he means Topo, but that's all right.
Yeah, I messed
Anthony
up.
West in the crowd as well. How can I buy a DD hat? Can't find a link anywhere, Ray.
I answered him. Well, I tried to can't. The link will be live before July 4th. It is done. We have been solely focused on this. Y'all, if y'all don't use this damn war tool, DD is shutting down. That's all I'm going to say. The amount of time and effort, and Scott's laughing. Scott is laughing. Listen, this is members only. We got to have fun. These are the people. If you watch it live and you're missing out on a good time, you got to be in here. But if y'all don't use this damn war tool, man, we're shutting down the operation. I'm telling you, that has been the sole focus. You'll be able to buy this shit here very soon. All right. Before the 4th of July. I promise that.
Mark your calendars. Anthony West gives us a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, boy, Anthony, here we go. Just love to the new show. Best show.
Oh, man, y'all got sound effects.
Period.
I like this, Tom.
Bro, this is a professional outfit here, right? An appreciation for answering my question. So I guess we got to go into Anthony West here. 12 teams, start 11. It's a PPR super flex, 0.5 tight end premium. Caleb, T-Law, Jackson Dart. Got Genty, Hampton, Hendo, Caleb, Harvey, 6 other rookie running backs, all them guys. Rice, Rome, Hunter, JSN, Abuka, Bowers, and McBride, the super duper tight end.
The all ADV squad here.
All ADV pod, all the future picks, extra thirds, extra fourths. Hung on to McBride. What type of moves would you make to capitalize off preferences? Feels like he's in a weird spot where maybe he's a year away from truly competing, but never wanting to be stagnant. I mean, kind of similar to the last trade we talked about here, Ray, like Bowers, McBride. It's going to be real hard to take that thing to the bottom. Caleb, T-Law, Dart. Yeah, it might be a little messy a couple weeks, but you still got some good stuff there. You got all the rookie running backs, all the flexibility here. So, do you feel like it's a year away from truly competing, never wanting to be stagnant? How are you approaching this kind of a team?
Who you want Scott to answer first? Go ahead.
You go ahead, Ray.
I'm not doing anything with this team. I'm not doing a damn thing in June. I'm not doing anything. This This is the all hopium team. This is all drop the beans emoji. This is like the preseason oasis. Let anything happen with any of these rookies or Hunter or JSN I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing a damn thing unless it's porn. If it's a porn offer, I'll do it. And you know what I mean. You know that type of offer when you see it. I can't tell you what it is for your league, but when you see it, you're like, okay, I need to press accept. Other than that, like this is Hopium Island. Like I'm just letting these beans mature. I'm letting them grow. I'm not doing anything. Like I think he's got a lot of ADV here. So the only thing that's going to happen as we get closer to the season is, oh man, JSN's going to be the one. Igbuka's looking like he's going to be on the field. Rome's going to be the Amon-Ra. Hunter. I'm chilling. I'm not doing anything unless it hits my inbox and it makes absolute sense. I'm chilling.
So if Ray opens the trade offer and he hears, he ain't doing it otherwise. That it has to be that kind of an offer. Scott, are you sitting on your hands on this team, or anything kind of strike you as an idea?
Well, first, shout out to Anthony for the super chat. He's been around forever, so thank you for the support over the years. This is a fun team to try to compete with, right? Like I'm looking at this roster going, man, there's no pressure.
None.
This is the upstart team that you don't expect to compete, but if it does, like you're looking at the league going, look what I just did. I basically re-rolled the whole team over the last 2 or 3 years, and it's now winning. And it's got, McBride, Bowers, JSN, Rice, Rome, 3 good quarterbacks. Well, 2 good quarterbacks and 1 you hope is good, but it's not like neither of your quarterbacks are potentially, top 10, top 12. They both could be. You have Genty. Like, this isn't a team where I go, I expect to win, because I tell people this all the time. You're probably not starting 5 rookies and winning a championship. It's just hard to do. But you got a lot of good rookies here. Guys that could gain value, guys that you could package for other stuff. And the other thing, speaking of the war tool, I think there's a lot of impact that we do not measure when you have McBride and Bowers on the same team. You're influencing what other people are doing in your league at tight end. That's a clear advantage that I have over everybody else. I don't have any other advantages. We don't look at my running back room, quarterback room, or receiver room and say it's dominating everybody in the league. But at tight end, nobody else can touch it. And there's no way anybody else can trade their way into touching it or anything. So just think about what power that has before you consider, because he did mention he held on to McBride, and that's probably a temptation for a lot of people on a team like this, Ray. What can I get for Bowers? What can I get for McBride? But you got to make sure on a team where you're not lacking for upside, youth, flexibility, like you do not need to move one of those guys unless it is you are paying me to break up the one advantage I'm holding
unless
over the
it's
league.
porn. When you see it in Scott, you're saying like he doesn't have to do the answer to like when you move them, like when the value goes up. Like there's nothing that's going to happen to hurt those guys' want from other managers. Like it's only going to increase. Like this is it's ADV. If there was a meter for how much ADV is on this team, it is overflowing.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait for that offer to come through, baby. You're going to know which one it is. But yeah, I'm fine rolling with that Bowers, McBride. Make everyone else scramble at tight end. And yeah, wait for that right offer to come through. You're going to have fun with that one, molding that one to what you want it to be in season. So good luck. Let us know if you make another moves on that one. Corey Franks, 12 team start 10 Superflex, a PPR league, and a 0.75 tight end premium. It's a lineup league. He sold everything in the startup in the draft last year. His only assets are Brian Thomas Jr., Romo Dunze, and Laporta. He's got not 1, not 2, 7 firsts, 4 seconds in 26, and 7 firsts and 5 seconds in 2027. Should I trade Laporta for Jonnu plus a 28 first and second? Scott, at what point is it too many firsts? Or is it, man, this team is nowhere near, let's just keep this experiment rolling? Like, when do you say enough is enough?
Well, the positive is we've already reached the saturation point in the next 2 drafts. And what I mean by that is there is a diminishing returns when you have every single pick. You actually kill the market for the picks. You think, oh, I'm just going to be able to nickel and dime everybody in the places where I don't want to make the picks, but it never works that way. You know, how many times have we seen somebody, they have 6 picks in a row and they're like, I want to pick the 5 guys I want and then trade the 6th one for what it should be worth. And people are just, nah, we'll just wait till next year to get picks. So you're already doing that. Now, on the positive side, if you don't think Laporta in this format is a difference maker. This is probably the best deal you're ever getting for him. You're getting a first, a second in years where those are probably the next available picks in your league, right? If there's a pick market, it's 2028. As far out as that is, that's what's available because you control the other two. And you're getting Jonnu, who's probably more of like just a destination guy on my roster, but maybe you can flip him in season for a second and a third or something like that. But I'm okay with doing this deal if you really want, but I'm with you, Ty. Like, you better hope. Yeah, Corey, make sure you look at, hit up Anthony. Ask him how he built that roster that we just had. That's what you hope your team is by the end of 2027, where you're like, okay, I have all the young players. Now what? But I'm indifferent to doing this. I could say no just because, like, you're getting a little cute, man. Like, you're now taking the pick market entirely into your hands. You're probably going to be forced to make a lot of those picks. Just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you for free. If Ben Mason is in this league, I am taking Jonnu Smith in the picks. I know I'm going to be able to move that Jonnu for something different. But Ray, I mean, when you have all these picks, like, are you thinking like, man, when do I push those in? Like, do I push them in now? Like, do you just carry it forward, or how else are you approaching? I guess do you have any teams that look like this with 14 firsts in the next 2 years?
Not like this. And I agree with everything you and Scott said. Like, at some point, there's too much, but this is one where I would do it just because I know I could trade Jonnu again. And the thing is that Corey's going to have to do, you're going to have to start turning these assets into real players, or else you're going to keep waiting for another year and accumulating. I mean, that Laporte is not going to do a damn thing for this roster right now. So if he can get a first, a second, and Jonnu Smith, and then what I would do is, again, turn around and try to move Jonnu Smith, try to tier way down. Like, can you trade Jonnu and get a JT Sanders plus? But at that point, at some point, you're going to have to start turning these picks into players. You're going to have to turn picks into points. You cannot just get picks for picks. Picks have to turn into points at some time.
Yeah, I don't want to get picks for picks' sake. Like, let me have a plan if I'm doing that, because that's going to be a long road. If you
have a plan for your picks to turn them into points, yes. I'm going to make a nursery rhyme over here around that.
All right, you work on that, and I'm going to talk to Scott here because we got a 16 by 18. Start 8 on offense. It's a 1 quarterback league. It's an auction league, and there's contracts, Scott. So max 5-year contract. We're trading Barkley, who is on his last year of his contract, becomes a free agent afterwards. We got Troy Franklin on a 4-year contract and Tucker Kraft on a 3-year contract for 103. Do you play in any contract leagues, Scott?
Actually, I think I'm in 5 or 6 contract leagues, and this does matter. Yeah, like Barkley, he is a 1-year asset. Now, that 1 year could be another great year, but there's a lot of value in getting, again, the player you pick at 103. I'd probably say it's likely Henderson, but whoever it is, they have to be good. But if they're good, you're going to much prefer them to a guy that you cannot keep for more than 1 year. So I think I'm doing this. This is kind of to be honest, Ray, this is like a bailout when you know you're stuck on the 1 year guy and you can't keep him.
I'd make you eat it.
I'll give you the 113, not the 103, and see if you want to do it. But yeah,
I would do this deal 100%. 100%.
Then what's the plan at 103? Right? A 16-team league? Is this a Cameron Ward spot, or what do you think?
IDP is so. What's happening? Is Travis Hunter 101 in IDP leagues? I'm not in any, so I don't know.
It's a start 18. It's probably, honestly, you're getting Hampton at the 103 because Hunter will go 101 or 102. I mean, Barkley for Hampton, and you're getting 4 extra years on Hampton. That changes it even more. That's a smash.
Yep.
There you go, JC. I'll get in a contract league, and I'll have some more intelligent things to say on that in the future. But good work there. Okay, Sean Hamilton, my guy, help me construct a deal here. We got a 12-team start 12. It's a super flex league, 2 tight ends, and a 2.0 tight end premium with a 0.25 point per carry, a 0.5 first down bonus. Everyone gets points, and they come in bunches. Must start 3 running backs, must start 4 wide receivers. The team is Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Danny Dimes, and Jackson Dart. We got Saquon, Brees, CMC, Mason, and Can. We got Chig, Trade partner wants to do running back for running back swap. He has Nabers, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Adams. What would you be asking for? The running backs outscore wide receivers by a lot. Saquon, 30 points per game. How do you balance wide receiver value with running back points? Scott, this has Scott Connor written all over it. So in this format, bonuses everywhere. How do you balance the scoring? And do you see an idea for a running back swap where we can get what we really want on this team?
Well, there's 3 trigger points here. One, yeah, you got to start 4 receivers, but you got to start 3 running backs. You think it's tough to get 2. Wait till you have to start 3. So that's the first thing. 0.25 point per carry. So just carrying the ball 4 times is a point. It's a lot harder to get a catch than it is to get 4 carries. If it's a guy like Saquon, like he's getting 18 carries a game. So right there, you're just starting the game with 4.5 points before he gets any yardage, touchdowns, catches, etc. And you're getting a half a point for a first down. So that's going to favor a guy like Saquon. He mentioned Saquon, 30 points per game. From a production standpoint, there is no receiver equivalent. You literally need like the Jamar Chase year last year even to keep up. And you probably are having a hard time trading a running back to get back anything close to the production because you're not getting Jamar Chase for Saquon probably. So honestly, what I do in these formats, this is a perfect one to look at the war tool when it comes out because you'll see this data. The one position I'm willing to kind of deleverage is receiver. Not saying I don't need good ones, but I don't need to hold value at receiver, right? Like I'm always willing to tear off of the Malik Nabers to get back a lesser receiver and getting another running back, right? Because I'm throwing in a Chuba Hubbard in a format like this is going to outscore the wide receiver 5. You know what I mean? Like he's going to outscore pretty much all the receivers. So it's just what's your tolerance of how much do you dwindle down your receiver room? I would end up with a receiver room here that looks like Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers. You know what I mean? I'm getting production, but if those guys expire, I just have to replace them with the next version
what he's got.
of that.
That's what he's got now. He's already done it. And you got to understand like the psychology behind this deal. Like somebody wants one of your running backs. Like they understand that, oh shit, I got Nabers and Amon-Ra and A.J. Brown and Adams and it ain't. Like, I know I need to up.
They parked their value in the wrong spot for the format.
And
right?
they want the bailout. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. There's nobody in this league that's going to really pay you what Saquon and Breece Hall are worth, or Christian McCaffrey or Chuba Hubbard for that matter. And he's already living dirty at receiver with Thielen, Jacoby, Cooper Kupp, and Mike Evans. I'm not giving you Saquon Barkley. Like, I'm just letting you know right now. I know who you want. I'm not giving you Saquon. I'm not giving you Breece to swap for another running back. No. You in order to really give you got to give me something else, Sean. What have they sent you? Like, what are they trying to pawn one of those receivers off on you? I'll give you A.J. Brown for your Breece Hall and something. No, thanks.
In this format, Saquon, Breece, CMC, Chuba, like it's bell cow season. I'm fine rolling with that in a 3 run. Like me making a move in that running back room, like that makes I need to do more work just to get this back to where it was before. So you already have the layout: Evans, Kupp, Jacoby, Thielen. You already have the game plan. I would just keep kind of leaning into there. I don't need to make a running back for running back swap. I don't need to. If you want Saquon, come pay up for Saquon. You know the format that we're in. You got to come correct. So, yeah. Anything else in this one, Scott?
No, I mean, I'm in a lot of leagues where I have construction similar to this. And you know what the beauty of it is? You know what the softest market is in the league? The teams that have too many receivers. And they go, who wants Jacoby Myers? And I go, my team. I need another one of those every year.
Yep. Absolutely. Sweet. Max_FF, 12 teams, start 11, super flex, 1.5 tight end premium. Hurts, JJ McCarthy, Cans, Brian Thomas Jr., Rice, Chig. That's it. Rebuilding team. Got 1-6, 1-9, 204, 4 26 first, and 4 seconds. Recently traded Genty and Leggett for Brian Thomas Jr. in a second. Also Nico for the 106 and a 26 first. On the clock with 106 and has an offer of a 26 first, second, third, fourth, and fifth for the 106. So Tet's the best player available. Ray, Tet or the entire 26 class of a manager on this squad?
I mean, come on, man. I'm taking the picks, dude. I'm taking the picks. You give
Tet
me a
ain't
full
changing this
class for
roster.
McMillan?
Yeah.
I mean, who are BTJ and Rice are his receivers? He traded Nico. You got these picks. You're giving me a first, a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth.
Yeah.
Here's what I would try to do, though. Here's what I would do. Okay. I don't really, at this point, like the first and the second, I'm good. I'm giving really shit about your third, your fourth, your fifth. Can I get that 26 first, your 26 second, and give me a second rounder this year? I want a second rounder. You can keep your third, fourth, fifth. They want Max. He wants this pick. Leverage it. I don't want, because he doesn't give a shit about that third, fourth, or fifth. Guarantee you that. I want your 26 first, your 26 second, and your 25 second. Give me a 25 second. You can have your third, fourth, and fifth. Give me the 25 second. Just not because I know what player is going to be there, not because I'm telling you that player is going to be a stud, but give me another opportunity for somebody to offer me something stupid. Give me another shot in this draft for somebody to see that scattaboo and want to give me another 26 first to draft him. You keep your third, fourth, fifth. Give me a second.
Yeah. Always leave the door open for your league mates to go and do something a little fun.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I don't mind that, but I mean, Scott, there's also value on a team like this where you don't have a lot. You have some picks now, is cleaning the closet of one manager for an entire year, taking away that flexibility. Are you cool with the deal as is, or do you see another kind of pivot opportunities with this kind of a deal on the clock?
No, I think I'm good with it. I mean, he got basically a first and Tet McMillan for Nico. And if you settled on that and you said that was the deal that I ended up building with another receiver and I parked a first, fine with that. I like Ray's idea, though. I mean, that fifth and that fourth, like a roster spot is more valuable than that. So that's not moving the needle. Maybe if I can't get another second on this team, this is a team where I'd be willing to let them throw in a Zach Charbonnet type, a Tyrone Tracy type, someone that I could then resell for a second maybe or package somewhere else. But I need another piece.
I figured the player was too high, so I'm just like, since that this manager was already in pick liquidation mode, give me the equivalent of a second, whatever that may be.
Yep, get another piece would be enough for me because it is a fair offer, right? But when you add the third, fourth, and fifth in there, I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it seem like I'm getting more.
I'm getting all that. No, I'm not. I don't care about that.
Here's the bouquet of flowers. Don't look too deep. Don't look too closely.
Yeah.
You might find something else in there.
Yeah.
But thanks, Max. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Dustin Brown. What up, DD family? Just want to say hey, let you know y'all how great y'all are. The content we've been counting. Keep killing it. Well, thank you, Dustin. We appreciate you, dude. Jed Tatiano, is it dumb to trade for running backs right now, or is there a more optimal time to do so? I don't want to make a trade because I'm bored and I'm looking to upgrade. We've all been there, man. We got to put the phone down sometimes. But I'll tell you this. Once the running back is scoring and smashing, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more to get into him, right? But you got to make your bets and you got to make that done. Is there a more optimal time to do it? I like to make bets when I have more information in front of me, that's for sure. But if you're looking for the cheapest buy now time for a running back, it's probably in the offseason when they're not scoring points. Ray, do you see that any differently?
No, I mean, I think there are time periods in which you can make deals. And again, I'll just say this. If you know it when you see it, man, you get something comes through where somebody's offering you a full draft class, re-rolls for running backs that are right there on that cliff, then I've got no problem trading away a running back or trading for if it's just, you're just giving it away. But like right now, my team doesn't have to score points until September. And with a lot of running backs, I would just not want to do that right. I would just wait. I'd just put the damn phone down, draft on the underdog, do something else.
You putting the phone down here, Scott?
I'm not buying that B-Rob right now. You know what I mean? Like I have no interest in, unless you're giving them away or that. Here's how. You said it at the top of the show, Scott. I meant Ty. I'm not ISO buying RBs. I'm not sending out shit to ISO buy Ramondre Stevenson. But if you want to send me a package and I can throw one in on the back end, then absolutely, I'll take the love tap on the way out the door. Give me that RB that way.
Yeah, Scott. Anything else in this one?
No, I think you got to have a purpose when you're buying a running back. Where do they fit on my roster? What I don't want to do is go, okay, like Ray said, a guy like Brian Robinson or Travis Etienne. Like, I'm not just sending out my future second right now to get those guys, even though they're probably worth a second. That's a fair price.
Yes.
But I look at picks, seconds and thirds, especially. You know what those are? Those are running backs eventually that I can get when I want. Now, what I will do, can I take a third and Jalen Coker, a deal like that, and I can turn that into a running back that I trust to maybe be in a starter, because I'm accomplishing not just getting the running back, but I'm getting rid of another junky piece that doesn't really have a purpose on my roster. But no, not, hey, I
that
need
wasn't an ISO buy though. You're not sending your seconds out today for Isaiah Pacheco just to fill that spot on your bench today.
Nope. That's collecting my cans and turning them in the recycling center for $1. Like that, it's doing something creative. It's not just blowing my flexibility. So yeah, it's okay to buy them. Just don't do it for the sake of doing it. Like you said, do something else.
Yeah. Go watch some F1. You know, it's summer. Go for a swim. I don't know. Go have some fun, Jed. Thank you. Bradley Brobston. 10 teams, start 11. We traded Jefferson for Mike Evans, 108, which was Tet, 109, which was Harvey, and a late 26 first. We have Lamar, Trevor Lawrence, and Bryce at quarterback, Achan, Caleb Johnson, Harvey, and Ramondre at running back. And now we have Mike Evans, Tyreek, Tet, Jamison Williams at wide receiver with some depth. That's a 3 first plus deal right there, Scott. We don't see that all the time in Dynasty. 1-8, 1-9, a 26 first, and Mike Evans for Jefferson, a 10-team start 11. This shallow of a format. This is probably what the Jefferson manager is asking for, but this is a damn nice cash out price as well.
That means a 10 by 11. So you're looking at the equivalent of like a 12 by 9. You're always chasing as good of a player as you can get. So you did give that away here. But yeah, you got some toys to play with, right? Like you substitute Evans in for Jefferson. I'm not saying Evans is Jefferson, but if he can give me 70% of that, now I have 3 other pieces, 2 of them with Harvey and Tet, that those guys are one good game away from people going, man, like they're worth 2 firsts. You know what I mean? Right there. You've doubled what they've gotten back in this deal. So I don't hate it. It's just, what else can you do with those pieces? If you just tell me eventually I'm going to get more from this package, they all have to be good and you have to be creative. But if so, I mean, it's as good as you're probably going to get. No, nobody's coming to you with a better price here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ray, the kind of the theme of the show here has been kind of restocking your cupboards and having a plan with what you're going to do with that stuff that you get. I mean, this is a lot of stuff here for Jefferson. It's some nice stuff, but the title of the show here is Profiting from Preferences. Like, this feels like, hey, I want the Jefferson in the format. That makes sense, but it's a good deal on both sides here, I think.
I'm just more impressed that you got his last name right. He said, holy shit. That's the first time somebody has gotten my last name right off the rip. So air horn for Ty DeClaire.
Oh,
let's go.
Got you.
I'll just say this. Can you go back to his Fuller's roster back up, Ty?
Yeah, I can.
I'm with Scott. I don't know if you'll get a better offer than this. You've got some nice assets. I like this deal. I think this is about what you need to be asking for. I put it this way. If it were just Tet, Harvey in the late 2026 first, I think some people would consider it. They're like, 3 first, but this is getting Mike Evans in there was good. Like, that was good. Yeah. I like that. It
makes it easier to swallow that pill knowing
I do like
Mike
this
Evans.
Deal.
And Mike Evans is directly into your lineup as well. You're not just kind of getting depth, right? So I like that a lot. Yeah. Good stuff. Zach, Uncle Piff, 16 team super flex, start 10. It's a 0.25 point per carry. It's a PPR league. Garrett Wilson for Judkins, straight up, was kind of desperate at running back, only have Charbonnet. I mean, it feels a little off to be feeling desperate at running back in June. We're not even the point scoring season yet, but I have these rosters where it's running back poor.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I have to make a move from desperation though for running back here, Ray. Like, but the format, Judkins is probably worth it in that 0.25. So Judkins for Wilson. How do you feel off rip, and just anything else on kind of this format or how you would approach it?
I mean, I think once you get to the season, 16 teams, start 10, 0.25 per carry. I bet you there's a chance where this looks pretty like, okay. I'm again, I don't know if I would have done it now, but I I get it. I've been there. I think that's the thing, Zach. I've been there. I think Scott's been there. Ty's been there. And you see that deal and you're like, this is fair. I'm going to assume start 10. You feel pretty good at receiver, knowing that your running back room was only Charbonnet. It's 0.25 per carry. Like Scott said, 4 carries and Judkins has 1 point. Like he's got 1 point. So unless Garrett Wilson's going to ascend and be like a top 5 guy, which I don't think that's within his range of outcome this year, I'm good with this deal. And I didn't think, like initially I'm just like Judkins for Wilson, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Scott, the format here, like the 0.25 point per carry, that raises the floor of all running backs of any kind of rushing asset here. And, maybe getting to a wide receiver of Garrett Wilson's skill set, ADV level, that can be more difficult. So, like, how do you approach using running backs in a format like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this format, we already talked about one similar. I'm willing to just go a little more gross at receiver, but I'm hoping I can accumulate running backs, any innings eaters like Judkins, you would hope becomes Kenneth Walker. If he does, he's probably going to outscore the non-elite receivers. This is a 16 by 10, so it's average like a 12 by 13.3 starters. So there's a lot of depth in this league, right? Even though it's only start 10 on your end, the starters are spread out amongst 16 teams. So what's probably harder to find? Running backs that get a lot of work. Even you just need Judkins to be good. He doesn't need to be great. He just needs to be a guy that can get work. And if he does, you're not going to regret this trade, especially if it's something where you can live with your receiver room. Like this type of receiver room, Ray, you're in a 16-teamer. There's 48 receivers started across the league. If you're flexing receivers, you're down into like, you're hoping you got like a Hollywood Brown or a Christian Kirk chilling on your bench because that's a starter. So it actually spreads out the receiver advantage even more, which is nullified a little bit by the fact that you have the dominant position here at running back, and it was a need. I'm good with this. This is about what it costs to trade for an innings-eating running back.
That's what I said. I like this deal.
And not just an innings running back, but a rookie that has steam, that has value, that has ADV that people want. So love this deal for you, Zach. Good stuff. Anahola in a vanilla 12 by 10 PPR start 10 league. We got Nabers, but I don't think he's going to produce at his dynasty value, and I want to push it all on for this year. What pivots would you suggest? Marvin, a late second, can get you Nico. I've done it 3 times in the last week. So, I mean, kind of 2 separate comments there, but I mean, if Marvin, a late second for Nico, kind of feels like a flat tier range, we're just kind of giving a second, but player preference there for sure. Let's go back here, Ray. Vanilla, 12 by 10 PPR. We got Nabers, but it's like Nabers in that offense. Is he going to meet, like, is the dynasty value going to meet expectations for Nabers? And what pivots would you suggest?
I don't know, but 98% of people who play fantasy football absolutely think his production and value are going to align. I'm just not afraid of that right now. I mean, he was fucking fantastic with nothing at quarterback. What I'm sure a 12 by 10. Can you tear off? I want Nabers. Like I'm not. When I'm on this show, I'm gonna just tell her how I see it. I just want Nabers. I just want that. Like this. Like I'm not looking to make this pivot because what I want for him, nobody's gonna pay it. Like no one's gonna pay it. Like I'd entertain it, but I don't. Yeah. What are you getting? And what else are you gonna get? Rashee Rice and some first. I'll do it. Okay, but who's gonna give you that? Nobody. Right.
I mean, that's the transitive property at work here, right? He already said Marvin a second gets me Nico. Okay, well, Nabers is a tier above Nico. And Marvin a first is what I'm offering. Yeah. And if that manager doesn't say, I'm willing to do that, then I'm out. But it's got to be that next tier down where it's like you're still getting the top, JSN in a first. Even Garrett Wilson in a first. I can
Puka
live
in a
with
second.
that.
Puka in a second. Would you do it for Puka in a second?
Puka is in the tier with Nabers for a lot of people, so I'm fine with that.
But not really fine, are you?
It's more about the motivation of, like you said, if I already have Nabers, that's not the deal. I'm sitting there before I go to bed every night searching, man, can I grind out that extra second with Puka to trade my Nabers? If it makes sense, it makes sense. But I think I'm doing a Nabers deal, I'm trying to bet that the gap, because he already said, whether we agree with it or not, He said he doesn't believe Nabers has the steam to be where he is. So he's thinking Nabers is going to just settle as a, he's a nice low-end wide receiver 1, right? So I need another guy that you think is in that range that the market doesn't agree. Give me a first. And I'm willing, if I'm that convicted, I'm sending out 4 or 5 deals that look like that to the manager right now. Let them say no, but I'm not settling for less just because of my belief on Nabers. No.
8.37 Trinity score last year, high end range based off of that. 72 to 76% probability. That is minus 260 odds in the betting market. He is Jamar Chase from 2024 next year, usage wise. CeeDee Lamb usage wise. I mean, high end outcome, 23 points per game for Malik Nabers. So,
and if you listen to Shane says early in the offseason, he told you got to start valuing Nabers like a Jamar Chase, like a Jefferson, with Absolutely. What he showed and what his runway is with what he's done in his rookie season. So I'm not in a hurry to move off that Nabers either. So we're on the same page, fellas. Sumo Kid, 12-team start 10. It's a super flex PPR, no tight end premium. Got an inbox offer, getting the 102 for Mike Evans and Kamara. We got Lamar, Mahomes, Mason and Cans, not a lot of running back, but we got Justin Jefferson, Marv, we got Kittle and Auten, 1-2, 1-3, 2-3, 2-11, 3-01. I smashed, obviously. Thanks. So you want to let us know, hey, I did it, guys.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, 102 for Mike Evans and Kamara. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, give me that ADV upgrade, please. Yeah, not much to say on that one, Sumo Kid. You did the damn thing. So good work, buddy. Okay, let's roll up. We got 2 more, fellas. Let's go back to Dynasty Mark. 10-team start 10, 2 quarterback. It's a lineup league. Mahomes, Kyler, Darnold, Wilson, Saquon, Kyron, Chase Brown, Connor, Pacheco, Jamar Chase, JJ, Puka, Rice, Shaheed, Jamo, McBride, Kelsey, Ertz. No first until 28, defending champ. Again, we've pushed all the way in. Give Saquon, get a mid-26 first, a mid-27 first, and a 27 second. I don't like to project out to 2027, Scott. 10 by 10. 2 quarterback. 2 first for Saquon.
We started with Mark when we started the show, right?
Yeah.
Literally the same exact type of build where he gutted all of his picks, but he has a sick roster, and he's thinking, wasn't his first deal to upgrade to Lamb, and this one is to just get rid of Saquon?
Get rid of Saquon.
You know what? This is one of those. This is an old portfolio strategy that I play. Like, his teams are both good enough to absorb the loss of Saquon.
Yes,
I think this one is better. Equipped to absorb a Saquon loss.
Yes.
And I might not do that other deal, which we recommended, right? Keep Saquon, don't move to CeeDee Lamb because there's a super team, etc. I think this one, I'm taking it. I'm hedging my bets. I'm moving one Saquon where my roster is, I threw in Kyron Williams, Chase Brown, and James Conner and Pacheco. With all these firsts now that I just traded for, I'm doing this. I'm not betting on Saquon on both, and the other one makes more sense to hold. So I'm selling him here.
I smiled right off the rip. I'm selling him. Even in a 10 by 10, this is good. This is about as I'm with that. And they're tacking in that second. Let me see what he got offered real quick.
Yep. Give Saquon. Get a 26.
He's still a contender. So here's what I'll do. He's still a contender. See, instead of that 27 second, can you get a body back? Can you get a RB body back? Just get a body back. Get a body back for that second that's equivalent there. Smash that deal regardless, but try to get a running back. Get a back.
It's got a lot of nice wide receiver
or
rooms.
The second's fine because, like Scott said, that's a running back down the line, so we can keep it moving.
Exactly. Get 10, these 10 by 10s. They always look strong AF. Yeah, that's true. And there's always another 10 by 10 monster in there for sure. Last one. Automatic 10-team start 10 Superflex PPR lineup league. Hurts, Nix, Herbert, Achane, Tracy, Dobbins, Warren, Cans. We got Worthy, Ayuk, Waddle, and Cans. Ben Sennett and Cans. 103, 104, 107, 202. Trade Nix 103 and 202 for Marvin Harrison Jr., Saquon Barkley, and Tua. Wow. That's 10 by 10. So, quarterback scarcity is not all the way there, Scott. We have Hurts and Herbert on the roster. We're trading away Nix, getting the Tua back as your quarterback 3, 103 for Marvin Harrison. and you're just getting that Saquon for 202. Yeah. Does moving off the Knicks asset for you change that a lot, or are you taking the Marv, Saquon, and Tua side of this one?
Yeah, this one's pretty easy for me. I mean, you're getting credit for Knicks in a 10-teamer, and you still have Hurts and Herbert. Plus, now you're adding that pick. Basically, you still got 104, 107. If you wanted to take another quarterback, you could. I don't necessarily want to, but yeah, I'm fine taking the Marvin Saquon deal here pretty easily. You're getting credit for something that really shouldn't be as valuable as it is in this deal.
Yeah, trading from the excess, adding on some hammers, right? See that any differently?
Nah, man, I immediately was like Saquon Tua. Oh, and then I saw Marvin. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we're good. And speaking of we're good. We're done, fellas. Thank you so much. Ray, appreciate you hanging out tonight and place for Shane here. Any last words for the people?
Nah, just thank y'all for pulling up. We appreciate y'all being in the building. And for those of you who will watch this show after the fact, hey, get in, man. It's fun. We have a good time. Become a member, join, and participate live. Thank y'all for the support. We love y'all.
Absolutely. Scott, anything from you?
No, great show. Ray, appreciate you coming on, filling in for Shane. Hopefully he is watching this on the beach, or he will be back ready to fire away next week. But thank you for jumping on. Great job hosting, Ty. We're getting to a point where we're getting more questions than we can handle in an hour. So going forward, questions that come in the first half of the show, we'll try to get to those. But this thing's growing like a weed. And at some point, we're going to have to go, okay, if you get your question in right at the buzzer, we may have to kick it to next week, or maybe we'll consider, we're going to get to your questions.
Hell
it's
yeah.
We got to keep
hit them in the comments. If we don't get them in the show,
we'll get you in the comments.
We'll try to get you in the comments, man. That's what we're here for. And sometimes we'll go through these, Scott, and Ty, and we'll just make them a little quicker, right? We'll just give you a quick answer, but we do appreciate y'all being here.
Absolutely. And we do appreciate Anthony West, Dynasty Mark, Automatic, Samuel Keel, Joshua Quinn, Jake Pierceville, Corey Franks, JC Benoit, Sean Hamilton, Max FF, Dustin Brown, Jed, Bradley Bronston, FF Uncle Piff, and Sumo Kid. Thanks y'all for tuning out tonight. We out of this thing. We love y'all. Peace.